right, everybody, I am very excited. This is the first time I've ever been in a tag video, and I've been tagged by the magnificent George to do this video, and I'm very thankful because it's an experience, I guess. And I'm usually very wary of people that have two first names, but GG, he's an awesome guy and he has a great channel with really, really entertaining and very informative content. So if you want to check him out, then please do. I'll leave a link to his channel in the comments. Okay, so I've been tagged in this series, which is sort of holiday destinations and what kind of fragrances that you would take. It's up to you the number that you want to decide, but I thought five is a pretty good number, and 5 holiday destinations I think is plenty. Now, it's been a little while since I've done any traveling. I used to be a bit of a jet setter, out and about at least once or twice a year overseas, but in the last few years, as can be understood, traveling has died down quite a bit, and we're only going sort of local places these days. So I would love to go and spread my wings and go overseas again, and so there's some five I've chosen 5 destinations. Some of these places I've actually been to before, and I want to visit again because I want to delve deeper into that area and I want to go back and have more experiences there. And a couple of these places I've never been to before, but I've always wanted to visit. And this is what I would imagine I would want to smell like when I'm there. Okay, starting off with number 1, I really need to go back to Tokyo, and I think to Japan, because as maybe you know or you don't know, I used to live there, and I lived there for a number of years. That's where I met my wife, and I do have scent memories attached to that place, and most of which are to do with Xerjoff Rouge by Givenchy, and that's what I was wearing when I was there most of the time. But I think when I do go back there, I don't want to mix up those scent memories with my current scent memories. So I want to create new memories, and therefore I want to take this one right here. This is Copper by Comme de Garcons. It's a new pickup from me. Comme de Garcons, I think it's a Japanese house. It's a Japanese fashion label, I think. But this one, it's all about that greenness. It's all about that galbanum, or galbanum, if that's what you want to pronounce it like. It is like a copper pipe that's been smooshed into wet dirt. Now, if that doesn't sound appealing to you, then maybe you're not as niche forward as you think you are. But in reality, this smells very, very unique and very avant-garde. And I think it will suit the atmosphere of Tokyo, especially because nothing ever stays the same. And it's been... The last time I went there, it was 2017, and I'm pretty sure it looks completely different from when I was there last. And one of my dear friends is still living there, and he shows me around, and he says to me, "You will not recognize it if you come back now." And I'm really looking forward to getting out there again and experiencing that, eating all the food, walking around, witnessing, seeing all the sights. It's a really walkable sort of place, and I think that it's fantastic as a place to explore sort of hidden areas as well. And given that it's usually at the cutting edge and sort of state-of-the-art kind of stuff, then I really want to smell cutting edge myself and pretty niche myself. So that's why I'm going with Copper by Comme de Garcons as my number 1 choice for when I visit Tokyo next. So this next destination is another place that I've been to many, many times, and I love going there because it's just a place that I go to chill out, to actually have a vacation. It's usually very warm and muggy and humid, and I really like warm and muggy and humid sort of weather. I don't know why I live in Melbourne, but I think that whenever I go to this place, I just really, all of my muscles tend to sort of get the tension out of my muscles, and my body just relaxes and my mind just relaxes. And I think it opens up lots of creativity and doors to creativity in my mind as well. And so I really appreciate Singapore for letting me do that. And the first time I went there, I stayed in a beautiful place called the Marina Bay Sands. I recommend you check that out. It's got like an infinity pool on the 52nd floor. You can spend all day there. And there's a bar which turns into a club at night at the end of the pool called Coup d'etat. And I think that if I was ever to do that again, I would probably take this fragrance with me. This is Loewe. This is by Loewe. This is called Paula's Ibiza, and this one is called Eclectic. So this range, I think, comes in two. I think there's Eclectic and then there's another one. So I've got this one with me. Now, Ibiza is a place I've been to as well, but I think I'm way too old for Ibiza, and I don't think I'd want to do that again. But Singapore is much more approachable for me at this point, and I think this goes beautifully with its beautiful florals, and it's got a bit of jasmine in there as well, and some coconut as well, and some orange blossom, and it rests on this bed of sandalwood, which really, I think the notes itself don't do it justice, because it doesn't really follow the tropes of the regular sort of resort style, holiday style fragrance. And I think it strays away from that. It's actually quite unique smelling, and it does last quite a long time as well. It's quite natural smelling as well. And I think it does really, really well in hot, humid weather, and be a perfect companion. Even the color on the bottle and the gradation is really nice as well. And I think it'll be a really, really lovely companion to a trip to Singapore for me. So that's the one I'd take as my number 2, going to Singapore. Now, my next destination I've never been to before. I got pretty close when I did my tour of Europe, when I was backpacking around there for months on end when I was a young lad, but I never actually went here. And the place I'm talking about is the Greek islands, of which there are many in the archipelago. And I would take none other than this one right here, which is called Noble Fig by Ferrari. Now, the reason why I'd take this is because I do not have Carven's Paris Santorin, which is probably the most realistic and beautiful fig scent that I've actually smelled so far. So this one I do have, and if I had that when I'm going to the Greek islands, I would take that with me, but I don't, so I will take this one instead. Beautiful fig forward fragrance. It's fig leaf, it's still around, it's still cheap, it's still quite good value, and you can see I've burnt through it in a couple of summers already. But what really sets this apart is that when the figs sort of dry out, there's this beautiful floral musk that's sort of anchoring it down, and that's what radiates off your skin, with the fig really in the background, but it's still relevant, it's still there, you can still smell it. And I think walking around Greek islands smelling like this, and the sun sort of heating it up, and it's sort of radiating off your skin as it sort of glistens with sweat or something like that as you tan. It's just beautiful. I think it suits it so well. I can just imagine it right now, and this is what I would take if I was to go to the Greek islands. All right, and the next destination is Italy. It is a place that I have been to as well, and I would really love to go back and visit there and experience it as an older gentleman, because I was there last time when I was very young. And well, let's not say very young, let's say a young adult, and I was there in my 20s having the time of my life, and a very expensive time of my life actually. And I did really like Florence the best out of all the places that I went to. I did travel the north, and as far as sort of destinations go to see and do things, Florence was a really fun place to be. But in terms of chill out and winding down, I did actually end up visiting what they call the Cinque Terre, which is a series of sort of 5 lands or 5 villages that sort of I traversed, I guess, on my little scooter at the time, and that was also fun. And if I go back this time, I probably want to do the south and want to check out, the Amalfi Coast and check out all the villages and all the little towns along that area. Maybe even travel all the way down to Sardinia or something like that. And the fragrance that I would take with me is, of course, I'm taking an Italian fragrance with me, and from an Italian house. I'm taking it back home, and I'm going with Xerjoff, and I'm going with Torino 21. This one here, Torino 21, came out last year. Obviously, that's what the 21 is for some tennis tournament, and it's a lot of mint, and it's a lot of lemon, and it's lemon verbena, which I do love lemon verbena. I am partial to that note, and that's, I think, what gives it a little bit of a kick, a little bit of an edge, is that herbaceousness along with the citruses. It lasts for a very long time, and it's very good in the sun. It's very good in the Mediterranean sun, under which I have fallen asleep and burnt myself to a crisp. But at least I had a really nice tan afterwards. So this is what I would take with me to traverse and explore Italy and its lands. I think it will go perfectly with walking around and experiencing all the food and all the museums and things like that, and all the old buildings and all the villages. Perfect, 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 perfect. Xerjoff's Torino 21. And the last place that I would want to go on a holiday destination is a place that I've actually never been to, and that is the United States of America. I've never actually been to the US. I've not been to any of the countries in the American continent or the Americas. I came very close to going to New York. I do have family in New York, and I have family in LA as well. And I've never actually gone there to visit them. So I think it would be high time that I do. If I was to go, then I would take this fragrance with me. It would be Clive Christian's 1872. Quintessentially English is what this is, but I would take it with me to the United States, especially. I think it's a very New Yorkish kind of smell as well. Very refined, very classy, and very elegant. And I think it suits all occasions. And if I'm going into such a diverse and wide sort of space as the United States is, then I would want something that is almost like a Swiss Army knife without being a blue fragrance, and something that would really make a good impression, is non-offensive, and it smells high quality without being sort of standoffish. So I think it's a very approachable and very pleasant smelling fragrance to take with you into places that you've never been to, because you just don't know what to expect. And of course, there will be a wide variety of sort of climates and weather and people and all that kind of stuff. So that this I would take with me, and it probably would take more than this with me. I mean, even though it's like a citrus freshie, but it lasts quite a long time, and it projects quite well as well because of the way it's been put together. However, I will probably end up investing in probably a larger bottle than this to take with me. Maybe pick it up if there is such a thing at duty free, or even buy it from the United States, because it's probably cheaper than buying it here in Australia anyway. So yeah, there we go. That's my 5 cents for my 5 holiday destinations. And of course, the rules with this video is that I have to tag 2 other people to continue this on, to tell me about their 5 holiday destinations and the fragrances, or whatever, how many holiday destinations and fragrances that they would take with them. And the first person I'm going to tag is Sebastian from the perfume guy. Like, I don't think I need to tell you who he is. I'm pretty sure if you're watching my channel, you're already subscribed to him. And if you're not, that's a bit weird. You should go and subscribe to him. He's one of the biggest YouTube fragrance review channels. I think most people endeavor to have a collection or have a collection. Sebastian has a library. He has a fragrance library. All right. So if these are things that you aspire to, you really need to check out his channel and hear him talk very, very well about a lot of fragrances. So that's the first person I'm going to tag. Hopefully he has the time. He's a really busy guy, and hopefully he has the time to put a video together. And the second person I'm going to tag is a guy called Hannibal from the channel Magnificence. It's a very small channel. He's mostly he mostly does content on Instagram as well, which is called Magnificence Frag Reviews. Of course, I'm going to leave both of the channel links in the description of the video, so you can just click on the link and go to their channel. Please go there and subscribe to them, and watch out for their video. Hopefully Hannibal has the time as well to put a video together with regards to this topic, and we can keep this tag going and see where it goes, and see who has the most interesting sort of destinations and why they want to go there, and what kind of scent that they would imagine they would take with them. And if you have some for holiday destinations and you have some scents in mind that you would like to take, then by all means share it in the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do, because I'm on a mission to get my channel to 2K by the end of the year, and I don't have much time left. So share and subscribe and all of that jazz. And as always, thanks for watching.